Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Idle Angels video. And as promised, this is the Leo how to build Leo video. I should have made it a bit earlier, but first I wanted to gather as much information as possible regarding this angel. And then second of all, I actually kind of forgot to post the video on Sunday, so that's why I am doing it now, for which I am sorry, but I will do my best for the next time to post it on Saturdays or Sundays, like 1 day, maximum 2 days after an angel has been released. But let's not delay the video anymore. Leo is a DPS angel. This angel is DPS, but it is using basic attacks to deal damage. It is very important to note that if you are looking for a DPS angel that is overall good, meaning PvE and PvP aspects of the game, then you definitely don't care about Leo, because basic attack angels, angels that use basic attack primarily, aren't that strong early on, and later into the game they are definitely not good for clearing PvE, because in order to clear PvE you need holy damage, and basic attacks are not dealing holy damage. But in terms of PvP, in my opinion, Leo is quite strong. It is a very good DPS angel for PvP, and definitely Leo has a potential to be a second or third DPS in your lineup of pickup, which of course will mean that you want a one primarily good DPS for PvE and build up 10-12 supports maybe, after which you could be jumping onto the Leo. Some general information before that: in order to reach level 400 you will need to upgrade the MR stars of the angel, and then if you are wondering how much blue scrolls it will cost, you can use the table below, where the MR and the ER stars cost the same. On the Awaken levels, my suggestion is to go with MR3, then do Incarnation level 3. This is for newer players primarily. So if you just started the game and you still want to go for Leo, like this is the DPS of your choice, this is the most beneficial way you can upgrade this angel, because the MR3 and then Incarnation level 3 is what will provide you the best buffs in order to clear PvE as much as possible as a newer player, because that will be the most important part. You want to clear the PvE early, and early every single DPS angel will be helpful and useful. By that I mean until around stage probably 80, and above that it will be very hard for most of the angels to do anything, but until stage 80 every single MR DPS angel can do it. So by all means, this is my suggestion: MR3, Incarnation level 3, and then you go back to upgrade the MR and ER. Now, what are her skills? So the first skill is that she deals 500% physical damage to the enemy in the same position, and she ignores taunt. By that means if she is in position 6 and the enemy angel is in position 6 available to be attacked, but there is a Taurus on the enemy line, you can ignore Taurus and you can ignore Heimdall as well, which is very good. And reduces the target's defenses by 30% for 2 rounds. With the second skill, she deals another 500 physical damage to the enemy in the same position, and if there is and if the attack of the Leo is higher than the target's, then the damage is doubled, which is very nice. Of course, this won't ever happen in PvE, because the bosses have quite a lot of stats. So for now, we are keeping it PvP labeled angel. The UR plus powers: basic attacks prioritize the enemy in the same position, ignores taunt, and if enemy Leo is present, enemy Leo will be targeted always. Each basic attack has a 20% leech and ignores damage reflection. This is very big, to ignore damage reflection, because it basically means Leo cannot kill herself by attacking the enemy. Where here you can see the UR powers that I do suggest on to using for her. MR powers: she deals 150% true damage, prioritizing Leo if there is one on the enemy board. and then she gains Lionheart for 2 rounds, which basically increases her basic attack damage and her critical damage. MR1 provides her 200 energy, so she can cast her MR power round 1. MR2 doubles this skill damage, so the MR damage will become 300% true damage. MR3 is a passive. After each attack, she gains 15% attack buff up to 20 stack, which is incredibly strong, and very soon you will see why. MR4 is a passive after basic attack is casted. So after she does a basic attack, if the enemy is below 10% of their max HP and doesn't exceed 10 times Leo's attack, she can execute that target, which is very, very good. And MR5 is another passive that if Leo has 60% higher attack than the enemy attack, she will always act first. This is very, very big because it essentially means you want to stack attack on Leo and then you forget about speed at all. So you don't care about speed on Leo, and Leo can counter very nicely HP based angels, because those HP based angels, they have low attack, and that way Leo will always be acting first, using her incarnation power, putting them into the Coliseum, and that way she is always dominating the board. Now, what is the incarnation power? If one enemy is present, she will get Apex Hunter, which means that one basic attack will be casted after each ally casts a skill. And if there are more than one enemies, Leo will cast her Solar Coliseum for 1 round. Basically, in that Coliseum, she challenges into a 1v1 with the angel in the same position. Unless there is a Leo on the board, then she will challenge the Leo. And basically, in that Coliseum, what happens is it's a pure 1v1 where both of the angels get the buffs, but they exchange basic attacks every single time an angel acts. Doesn't matter if it's ally or enemy. And since Leo is a basic attack goddess, what happens is she locks down an angel into a Coliseum for a 1v1, then she demolishes that angel, and then she jumps onto the next one, onto the next one. So essentially what she does is she's extremely good and powerful for killing a undeveloped lineups, because she is just picking onto every single one angel. Early on, she is still very, very great in my opinion, because as you can see with Incarnation Power 2, she gains Solar Lion buff, which blocks 150% damage of her max HP, and Incarnation level 4 blocks 350% damage of the Leo HP. And keep in mind, if you use Leo during the Coliseum, the only chance to practically die is a better, stronger Leo or a Sagittarius that is going to be annoying. But I'm not even sure if Sagittarius has enough damage to beat Leo. With the Incarnation Power 3, her basic attacks start to deal holy damage, which means that if you are using any holy damage buffers like Ember Dragon, Cupid, or Wrath, then you will be dealing quite a lot of damage. And then the last Incarnation Power 5 is a passive 2 that if Leo kills an opponent during the Coliseum, she absorbs 50% attack and 50% max HP. The only other angel that does that with the absorption is Lucifer, and we have seen it very, very strong for PvE. But the reason why it's very strong for PvE is because she can absorb, Lucifer can absorb her own team, while Leo is only absorbing the buffs, the max HP and the attack from the enemy that she beats in the Coliseum, which in PvE sadly is only a boss, so that won't be happening. That's the main reason why we say she is very, very good for a PvP and not for PvE. In terms of how strong she really, really is, we're going to be able to see on the next probably Apex Domination that happens, or we'll have to wait for a PvP event where whales are fighting it off. But in my opinion, Leo will be very, very strong for PvE. PvP. Again, for the tier 5 sets, you are definitely going for the ring with the sword, with the weapon. And since attack is such a major impact for that angel, you definitely want to go with tier 4, tier 3 and tier 5 set, 2 pieces of each, in order to keep the attack buffs at the best point available. We are then going for the artifacts with sword and ring. The rest doesn't really matter. On the wardrobe, you definitely want to go strength and attack. Strength because this is her main stats, then attack, then endurance and max HP. On the gems, you are going for attack gem, and in my opinion, the best gem that you can get is this, the Invisible Guardian, which is actually increasing basic attack damage by 50% and deals an additional damage with each basic attack. This is going to be the key element in order to beat every single opponent for the PvP. And on top of that, in my opinion, this is probably one of the least angels that I will say that getting attack is the most important stats to grab. But of course, attack with buff received should be the primal option for her, with final damage boost and basic attributes being kind of the secondary option to grab. HP is not bad to have, but definitely speed is something you don't care about because you want to have attack 60% above the enemy in order to always be first to act. On the affinity and fate, you need to get to 2000 points affinity for sure, and your goal will be to grab every single angel that is buffing attack, which will be Athena with Aries, Sagittarius, Gemini, Pisces and Taurus. So if you just started the game and this is your first angel, sadly summoning for Aries, Sagittarius and Taurus, this is like 600 blue scrolls that you will need to waste. But if Leo is the choice of an angel for you, you will really need to grab those with the blue scrolls, because this will unlock quite a lot of attack potential for your angel, and this is how her primarily source comes as in terms of DPS. And lastly, the pet. There's only one pet that you can choose for Leo, and that will be the Tempest Dragon Spirit, because this one is related to basic attack. So in terms of pets, this is the must-have pet for her. Now, I'd like to thank every single person for showing your support and also believing that I haven't quit creating content about the game. Again, thank you very much guys for everything, and I'm going to continue finishing all of the how to build angels, because there are quite a lot to finish and it actually doesn't take me that much time to do them. So with that being said, please stay tuned, and I have prepared to cover first all of the supports and then go to the SSR plus angels once they receive their engraving, because at the moment there's no point to do a video regarding an SSR plus angel, shit on them, say how bad they are, and then they receive an engraving and I have to redo and change everything about them if the engravings are good. So I would leave it at that. Once again, thank you all for watching. See you in the next video.